But first, we have a bunch of new cards for different archetypes, some of which have been revealed last week, but I haven't looked at a single one of them. I purposely, because I wasn't streaming last week, I tried to avoid as many spoilers as I could. I saw some people post about them on Twitter, and some people seemed to be pretty excited about the hero cards, for example, but I haven't read any of them yet, as well as the new DDD support that also just got announced, which is actually what we're starting with. Supreme DD Invasion Begins. Doom of Dimensions is what the set is called. So, of course, with the set code having D and D in it, people were already suspecting that we might be getting some DD support in here. And so here it is. I don't know how many cards this is. I don't know if this is all the DD support. Maybe there's more to come. But here is what we have so far. DD Lance Soldier. Level 2 Dark Fiend Tuner Effect Monster. Attack 400, Defense 400. By the way, before we read any of this, DDD is such a large archetype at this point. It seems so like, it's so, I don't know. It seems like one of the more complicated decks to play. Is rather complex. I don't even know what exactly DDD needs right now. Like, what are we looking for? Any DDD enjoyers here that can maybe pinpoint to tell me what exactly the deck's weakness is? Is it consistency? Is it like the combos are not strong enough? Is like we need a way to play around Nibiru? What's going on there? You know, what's going on? Nibiru counter. It's all of that. Okay, if all of that is missing, okay, okay. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can target a DD monster you control, increase its level by up to the number of Dark Contract cards you control and in your graveyard. If this card is in your grave, you can target a Dark Contract you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, so this right off the bat seems like an okay card. It's a tuner that can summon itself back from the graveyard, which is neat, but not as crazy as I was thinking for like the first card I'm reading in like 2025 wave of support, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't know how relevant controlling the levels is for DDD. I'm not sure, because DDD is kind of doing everything, right? DDD is synchro summoning, link summoning, fusion summoning. They got pendulums in there as well. I had no idea, man. It's probably useful for some of that, right? They have XCs too. So at some point in some universe for DDDs, the level manipulation definitely makes sense, right? So yeah. Lamia is bad now. Oh yeah, it is kind of a better Lamia, right? Because Lamia was kind of the same thing, like just a tuner that you could summon. But this kind of maybe does it better. DD Defense Soldier. Level 4 Dark Fiend. 0 attack, 1800 defense. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn each. You can activate one of these effects. Target a DD card in your Pendulum Zone. Special summon it. Banish one DD monster from your graveyard. If your DDD monster, I'm losing my mind reading these effects. If your DDD monster attacks this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. You can banish this card from your grave, add a DD pendulum monster from your face-up extra deck or graveyard to your hand. Okay. I'm noticing a trend here with these two right off the bat, is that none of these are starters, right? None of these are starters, which makes it a little odd. At the same time, maybe for DDD, it's not too bad because they already have, I think, a decent amount of starters, maybe. But there's also like more to read, so we'll see. We have DDD0 Demise King 0 Machinex. But there's 2 zeros. Level 8 Dark Fiend Pendulum. Pendulum scale 0. Pendulum effect. You can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, if this card was activated this turn, you can place a Dark Contract continuous spell trap from your deck face up on your field. Okay, here we go. That's a crazy starter, right? That's crazy for the deck, right? Because the Dark Contract that searches is not on activation. It is on like it's once per turn. So like you can just place whichever contract you want. Specifically, the one that searches once per turn makes this definitely a 1-card starter. No matter what you're trying to do, this is probably the best one so far. And we're not even done reading it. Monster effect. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If a face-up DDD and or contract card you control is destroyed while this card is face-up in your extra deck, you can special summon this card, then you can destroy a card on the field. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place it in your pendulum zone. Okay, that seems more like a neat benefit, where like the main purpose of this card is definitely this. I feel like you're trying to place it in your pendulum scale, get your free contract, and then maybe later on it somehow ends up in your extra deck and you might be able to bring it back. There's like probably ways to make it work, but the best thing about this card is definitely the consistency aspect of this. The second effect being a good bonus is definitely strong. So yeah, this card seems very, very powerful. Oh my god. DDDD, Great Dimension King Arc Crisis. Level 12 Dark Fiend Fusion Pendulum Effect Monster. 4000, 4000, Pendulum Scale 13. Pendulum Effect. You can only use the Pendulum Effect of this card's name once per turn. You can target any number of Dark Contract cards you control, destroy them, then special summon up to that many Doom King Pendulum monsters from your deck and or extra deck. Okay. That seems powerful, but at the same time, this is a fusion monster, so it's probably going to take a long time until it ends up in your pendulum scale. Monster effect. Materials. 4 fiend monsters. A fusion, a synchro, an Xyz, and a pendulum. Must be either fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by banishing the above cards from your field and or graveyard. Okay, so that makes it a lot easier. Don't need a spell for it. But still, 1 fusion, 1 synchro, 1 Xyz, 1 pendulum is something. This basically reads to me as if you are already full comboing with DDD, then you can make this card. Which, at the same time, I mean, if you are full comboing, then you can do this. But, yeah. Can you banish a pendulum scale for this? Because it says the above cards, but then it says monsters. Does that... Because if it said monster card, I don't know. I would guess no, but it's written. It's because the materials is monsters, right? And a pendulum scale is a monster card, but not a monster. So I would guess no. Well, okay. If this card is special summoned, you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. Can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed, place it in a pendulum zone. Okay, so this is like a... It's not a win more card because it is not in your main deck, right? Like it's not a brick. You can never really brick on this card. It's just whether is there enough room in your extra deck to fit this card, because if you're comboing off, there's a world where if you get to this point, right? Like if you get to the point where you have a fusion, a synchro, Xyz, and a pendulum, which is a lot of work, right? That's a lot of work still, even for DDDs. I mean, of course, if your stuff is resolving, then you can make it happen. I'm not doubting that. I'm not doubting your ability to get to summon this card if you can play. But if your opponent is interrupting you, then you might not get to the point where you can perform a fusion, a synchro, and an Xyz summon. And also have a pendulum monster in rotation that's basically on the field, not in... Because pendulum won't be in the graveyard unless you Xyz summon with it, I guess. But like, what I'm trying to say is... in Yu-Gi-Oh, you have to evaluate these by like their practical applications, which is that you're not playing the game alone. Like I understand that if you're resolving your DDD cards, you can get to all of this. But the thing is, your opponent is going to try to stop you from doing that. And also, the next question is, if you are already doing that, right? If your opponent cannot stop you from summoning a fusion, a synchro, an Xyz, and a pendulum card, aren't you winning the game already? Are we not winning the game already if we're summoning fusion, synchro, and Xyz monsters in the DDD deck? So I don't know if that's gonna be worth an extra deck slot. I mean, I'm not saying you can't make it. I'm just saying I don't know if it's... Yeah, you get what I'm saying, I think. Alright, DDD Founder King Clovis. Level 6 Dark Fiend Synchro. Materials, generic. Can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, you can target one of your banished DD monsters, or if you control a Dark Contract card, you can target one in your graveyard instead and special summon it. If this card becomes banished, you can activate this effect. If your DD monsters attacks a defense position monster this turn, inflict piercing battle damage. Okay, this card, plain and simple, pretty good. I still hate it because this is just synchro climbing, which is not something I'm a big fan of. Similar to link climbing, like I'm not a fan of just like turning two monsters into a synchro 6. That just gives you, probably summons back your tuner, and then you make two monsters that are supposed to make a level 6 synchro, then make like a level 10 synchro or something instead. I don't know, or level 8. But sure. Caesar material. It is a level 6 fiend, yeah, and it does give you banishment recycling if that's relevant for DDDs. It might be. It's a good card. It's a good card. One half of Caesar, yeah. DDD Wisdom King Solomon. Rank 4 Dark Fiend. Materials, 2 level 4 DD monsters. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Detach a material from this card, add a DD card from your deck to your hand. Okay, that's powerful. If this card becomes banished, you can target a DD effect monster you control. That effect monster gains this effect until the end of this turn. If this card destroys a monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half that monster's original attack. Okay. This is the big one. See, the thing is, this is what I meant earlier. DDD is such a huge archetype and so convoluted, and it's like such complex combos and stuff like that, that like, I have a hard time evaluating these cards because like a rank 4 that adds a card from deck to hand is nothing out of the ordinary. It's not crazy. It's not like, it's hard for me to evaluate this in the context of DDDs because like the deck is there's so many DDD cards, right? And it's just like, cool. I'm sure this opens up a new dimension of spreadsheet gaming for DDDs, but maybe it's also just because I personally am not much of a DDD fan. So I've never actually gone through the motion of learning all that stuff. So it might be that this thing fixes a niche that the deck desperately needed because there's like a lot of points in the combo where you have 2 level 4 monsters but nothing great to turn them into, so on and so forth, right? It's 100% possible because this is a good effect. It's a good card. I just don't know exactly where it slots into the DDD archetype. But yes, it reads like a solid card. But it could also, at the same time, right? Like when you don't know the archetype super well, it could also just be that there's no point in the combo where there's 2 level 4s and you can easily make this, you know? But like, I don't know, like, because DDD kind of has all the levels all over the place. But yeah, from what I'm hearing from chat right now, there's some people here that are into DDDs, and they are saying this card is fixing a lot of problems for the deck. So yeah, good card. I mean, it is a good card. Then we have DDD Sky King Zeus Ragnarok. The best thing about DDDs, I think, or like if you're scared of DDDs, I think is like there's gonna be like a set percentage of people that will receive game losses every single tournament for incorrect deck lists. This is the big one. Bro, literally that exact same sentence, this is the big one, got typed multiple times when I looked at this card. Okay, can the DDD community at least agree on which one's the big one? So I'm not like reading everything and you're like, oh, this is the one. This is the one that's gonna make it good. Believe me, this is the one. Link 3 Dark Fiend Link. Dude, it's one support wave. It is one support wave, and they're getting Effect Monster, Pendulum Monster, Fusion Pendulum Monster, Synchro Monster, Xyz Monster, Link Monster. Dude, DDD is crazy, man. At some point, you gotta stop. You just have to call it a day. You have to call it a DDD day with these cards, man. Link 3 Dark Fiend Link. Materials 2+ DDD monsters, DD monsters. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn each. You can target a DD or Dark Contract card you control, destroy it. Also, during your main phase this turn, you can conduct one pendulum summon of DD monsters in addition to your pendulum summon. Oh yeah, I love when my opponent pendulum summons twice. When your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand, quick effect, you can banish a DD monster and a dark contract from your grave, negate the activation. That is the most blatant Nibiru counter I've seen in my life. This is the most obvious, we're gonna give this deck a Nibiru counter since Gigantic Sprite. This is like so specific. Negate a monster effect in hand. I mean, look, this is more fair than something like an Omni Negate, right? Because like if you're giving, if they identify, hey, the weakness of this deck is Nibiru, so we're gonna give them a way to play around it. I would prefer this over them just slapping an Omni Negate or like a generic monster negate for every type of monster on a card. But yes, this is obviously maybe this is the big one. Maybe this is the big one because there is a counter to Nibiru now. Yeah. That's pretty good. Dark Contract with the Zero King. This card is always treated as a DD card. You can target a DD card you control except itself. You cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except DD. Also destroy that card if you do special summon a DD monster from your deck. So that is basically like a Zodiac Barrage for the deck, right? This is the, oh, this might be the big one, yeah. It's like Zodiac Barrage, but it cannot target itself, right? So it's like slightly worse than Zodiac Barrage for DDs. But that still seems like a very good card. This is like a very, very good card. Because you can like pop your scales, you can pop your other contracts after you've used them, right? So, yeah. This is the best spell card in this support wave. Bro, it's the only spell card. It's the only spell card, literally. But yes, you're not wrong. Dark Contract with the different dimension, because this is a trap card. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can shuffle 2 Dark Contract cards from your grave into the deck, then target a card your opponent controls in their grave, banish it. Once per turn, during your standby phase, take 1,000. If this card is destroyed, gain 500. If it was destroyed by the opponent, gain 500 more. This seems solid. This is like a, yeah, like a virtual world gate, like the trap card for the deck. I'm going to be honest with you. This is just me as an outside perspective on DDDs. This deck, by my impression of this deck, is that if you make this deck more consistent and more combo heavy, which is what this support I think is trying to do, I don't think this deck is going to have need a trap card on its end board. Because this deck can make crazy end boards already without playing any bricks in your main deck, right? It's like, bro, I can name, there's like, well, I can't name them. Okay, I spoke too soon there. I can't name the DDD cards, but like I know of a bunch of Omni negates or like spell trap negates, monster negates in the archetype, right? And like, I don't know if you need another trap card in the mix there, right? Like they have the Synchro that negates, what is it, spell cards. They got Caesar that negates special summons. They got this one now that negates monster effects in hand. They got so many good end board pieces that I don't know if you're going to want to play another trap card. Of course, you might. You might play the trap card to maybe have better like insulation from Dark Ruler no more. You have recycling in this as well, which might be yeah. Is this the most unfun deck to worse? I mean, it's a combo deck. It's a combo deck, and I can see why people like playing it, you know, because I think playing with this deck has always been pretty fun, actually. There's been times where I tried to play DDD. This is way back in the day. This is like even before the Link monsters came out, where I tried playing DDD back in the day, and it already was that type of deck. It was already like a combo deck in its first iteration. It's a very heavy combo deck. And some people don't like playing against combo decks. It's just how it is. I mean, getting comboed on when you can't stop it is definitely is definitely not the most fun. I think the thing that makes playing against DDD so rough is that there's so many cards to consider. So when your opponent activates a card like this one, right? DDD Wisdom King Solomon, detach a material, add a DD card from your deck to your hand. You have, if you don't know this deck, or even if you know the cards, right? Even if you know the cards, there's like 50 targets for this, right? And all out of those 50 targets, most of them have 5 effects because they're pendulum cards, right? And so like I think playing against DDD or even learning DDD is like super overwhelming, especially at the start. If you're playing against this deck for the first or second time, or you're trying to play this deck for the first or second time. So yeah. That's that. The support here, without being a DDD expert, the support here seems very strong though. Because this is kind of everything, right? This is some solid main deck tools, which I don't know if these were necessary or not, but I'm sure they're good. I'm sure they're appreciated. Like the Land Soldier and the Defense Soldier are like, they're not bad cards. So if they have room, if they find room in some of the combos, then you can play these now. The Fiend Pendulum is great for consistency and more than that. Right? Like this thing, just having this effect here is, this already would have made it good enough. If this was a Pendulum vanilla with just this effect, right? It would have already been good. But it also has bonus effects beyond that, so it's pretty strong. This is, I don't know if this is going to end up seeing play. It's a good card. You can basically make it for free, so it might end up seeing play, but the deck has a lot of extra deck cards already. So I don't know. The Synchro is good. Basically, this wave of support is everything the deck could have asked for, I think. It's more consistency cards with the new. This is not a starter on its own, but combined with anything else, it's a starter and extender. The Pendulum Monster is a great starter. The Synchro and the Exceed are great cards to just make within your combo to keep going, right? To turn combos stronger, make combos stronger from your extra deck. And then there's also a Nibiru Negate, right? So I think this is pretty much everything you could ask for a combo deck, right? More consistency, better main deck tools, better boss monsters, Nibiru Negation, all that, right? So pretty strong wave of support here for DDD. Yeah, it might catapult the deck into a better territory, right? Like into play. I mean, it definitely makes the deck better. Whether it makes the deck tier 1 or not is not something I can say right now. That is beyond me because I haven't played the deck enough. But it feels like strong cards. I mean, there's also a lot of cards. It seems like with the amount of cards here, what is that? 9 cards or 8 cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 cards for DDDs. Definitely feels like one of the biggest waves of legacy support, like in a long time, dude. I don't even know what other deck gets like 9 cards of legacy support in a main set like that, right? Like Blue Eyes got this many cards, but it was like that was a structure deck. I don't know. Also, it's Blue Eyes. Oh yeah. So me personally, if I could have picked an archetype to receive 9 support cards in Supreme Crisis, not Supreme Crisis, in Doom of Dimensions, I would have picked a different one, but it is what it is. DDD enjoyers eating well, I suppose. So yeah, that's that.